Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome and welcome to this Diwali series that I'm doing in the month of November. Today I'm back with another educational video, and today we're going to be talking about bloating. Now this is something that I get asked very often and I struggle with myself almost on a daily basis. I get bloated a lot. I have a lot of people asking me, okay, why does this happen? What could be the possible reasons I'm bloated? So I went out there and did a little bit of digging, and I'm here to share my findings with y'all. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so I'm going to start off by talking about why I'm even covering this topic for my Diwali series at all. And that's mainly because, when you are in the festive mood, you're going to be eating a little bit differently from what you generally do, and your body sometimes reacts differently. Some of you may feel a little bit bloated during this period, and I thought this would be the perfect time to be talking about this topic. So starting off, let me just introduce the concept of gut microflora, or it's also known as your gut microbiome. So this is basically like a family of bacteria that resides in your gastrointestinal tract, or the GI tract. Your GI tract is thought to have about 500 different species of bacteria living in there. In fact, the number of bacteria residing in your GI tract is thought to exceed 10 raised to 14, which is actually more than the total number of cells in the human body. So that fact absolutely blew my mind. It's crazy how much bacteria really lives in our digestive system. And don't get me wrong, this is not all bad bacteria. They have a bunch of roles to play with regards to digestion, but I'm not going to get into too much detail there. Now, even a minor change in the gut microflora can cause significant changes in your gut function. For example, it could have a big effect on the gas production in your digestive system. So now, whenever you consume a meal, this is also referred to as your postprandial period, your GI tract tends to produce a little bit more gas. So the foods that are not completely digested in the small intestine make their way down to the colon and are broken down there. And within the colon, gas is produced when all this bacteria is metabolizing the undigested food. Now, for any healthy individual, we actually pass flatus, or also known as passing gas, about on an average of 14 to 18 times a day. The mean total volume of the gas passed by an average healthy human can range from anywhere between 214 ml to 705 ml, depending on the fiber content of your diet. So now you might wonder, is it possible for you as an individual to be producing more gas, or an abnormally high amount of gas than somebody else, and is that why you're suffering from bloating? So now the problem here is that there is no consensus on like a standard definition of how much gas is considered abnormal. Like, is it 1000 cc per day? Is it 3000 cc per day? There's no real standard definition there. So bloating is more of a sensory phenomenon, and measuring that in terms of like a clinical trial is a little bit difficult. So now, coming to why you could be bloated, the first reason could be an impaired gas transit or retention. So for example, if you are someone who suffers from irritable bowel syndrome, then you could be prone to storing and retaining more gas in your abdomen, which can lead to a little bit of discomfort and even abdominal cramps. The second possible reason is impaired gas evacuation. So obviously we pass gas either from up top or down below. So if you have some sort of a deficiency with your rectal reflex, or with regards to belching, then that could be another reason why you are bloated. Now the third reason, which is so vague and so broad, is it really comes down to your lifestyle, how you eat, how you stand, your posture, the amount of exercise you're doing, the kind of diet you're consuming. So many factors lead to it. And when it comes to treatment, unfortunately there is no evidence-based algorithm that can be followed to treat anyone and everyone who suffers from bloating. So it's more of a client to client, patient to patient kind of a treatment. So something that maybe you would even call a symptomatic treatment. So gastroenterologists will generally follow a step-by-step approach to help that individual out with their specific problem and formulate a treatment plan in accordance to what that patient is experiencing. So now, different ways of treatment can range from anywhere between simply switching up your diet, exercising more frequently, taking over-the-counter medicines, posture corrections, probiotics, laxatives, and if I'm not wrong, there are quite a few different medicines that a doctor can prescribe to you. Obviously, that is out of my scope. It's not something that I will do out here. But if you are someone who suffers from bloating, excessive bloating, then definitely go get yourself checked. Now, coming to the diet and exercise part of this, which is within my scope, what I do want to say is, when it comes to your diet, some food products readily ferment in the colon area. So examples of that would be dairy, fiber, fructose, etc. So now there are quite a few ways to sort of figure out why which part of your diet may be contributing to you being bloated. Some coaches or doctors might tell you to eliminate one food group at a time and see if the symptoms go away, or in extreme cases they might tell you to go on like a much simpler diet for a while and then slowly reintroduce certain food groups into your diet to see which one of them really causes your bloating. So a video that I did on similar lines was regarding whether you need to go gluten free. So some people may see an improvement in symptoms after eliminating or reducing the amount of gluten in their diet, or for that matter, some people might be a little bit sensitive or intolerant to dairy and lactose. So reducing, minimizing, or eliminating those food groups might help them with their symptoms. Now, when it comes to exercise, I think that's pretty much a no-brainer, because exercise just improves your intestinal gas clearance to reduce bloating. So yes, getting a sweat in might actually help you out with bloating, but there is a different side to that as well. Sometimes after like a heavy resistance training or strength training day at the gym, you may feel like your body's a little bit swollen and you might feel a little bit bloated around your midsection. That is usually related to water retention. Also, when it comes to probiotics, they are used very commonly, but there just aren't enough randomized controlled trials that have been done to prove the efficacy of probiotics with bloating. So unfortunately, at the end of this video, I don't have any conclusive reason to tell you why you may be bloated, but hopefully this gives you all an idea of all the different reasons that you could be bloated. It could really just have to do with your gut microflora. Apart from that, a few things that I would recommend is to watch your sodium intake, maybe observe how your body reacts to different food groups. Do you feel bloated specifically after certain meals? Also, please keep in mind that if the bloating comes with some amount of pain and discomfort, you might want to go check it out. Most cases of bloating are actually not that severe. It's generally very trivial things that contribute to it, but it's always a good idea to get yourself checked from your family doctor. So I'm gonna end this video by saying that bloating is absolutely normal to all my ladies. We bloat even due to PMS, right before our periods. For the guys out there, it could be related to your food. It could just be your gut. There are so many things that go into it. Please don't beat yourself up if you feel extra bloated some days. Trust me, we all go through it. But hopefully this video helped you out in one way or the other. If it did, please be sure to take a second and give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also hit the bell button so you never miss a video from me again. Have a very happy Diwali, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!